Welcome back to Stacked, where we are building efficiencies each and every episode. Today, we are going to talk about how to automate your appointments so you can focus on actually showing up. Let's talk about the most overlooked system in most businesses, your calendar automation. If your booking, reminders, follow-up, or rebooking sequences are still manual, you're not just wasting time, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. In this episode of Stacked, I'm breaking down how we automate the full appointment lifecycle, why this isn't just about convenience, it's about conversion, and the one-click trick we use to trigger entire post-call sequences. So let's dive in. Here's the truth. If your booking experience is clunky or confusing, you're telling your leads, working with me is going to be disorganized. But when it's smooth and simple and systemized, you build trust before the meeting even starts. Automation matters here because it confirms the meeting immediately. It reminds them without you doing anything, and it follows up no matter what happens on the call. And best of all, it creates consistency in how every lead experiences your brand. Here's the full appointment workflow we build for every Dallowry client and what we use ourselves. Number 1, booking confirmation. As soon as someone books an appointment, it sends a confirmation email plus a text with the calendar invite, meeting link, and even a what to expect. This is especially important for businesses like salons who your customers have questions. Do I need to come with my hair washed? Should I have makeup on before this appointment? That booking confirmation can tell them exactly what to expect and how to show up. Number 2, appointment reminders. Depending on what type of appointment you have, your sequence timing might want to be different. So for us, we have 24 hours before with an email reminder, and we do 10 minutes before with an email and a text, since most of ours are virtual and last minute is when they're looking for the link. If you have an in-person meeting and you know it's going to take about 30 minutes, depending on where they're coming from, to get to your space, you might want to send it 45 minutes or an hour before. Bonus, include a reschedule link to reduce ghosting. So last minute things happen. We understand that. We've got some clients that require a fee for last minute cancellations and reschedules, like for cleaning businesses. But others, we just want you to reschedule because we'd rather you reschedule than not show up at all. And number 3, one-click show or no-show tag. This one is a game changer. After the call, we can mark with one click whether the appointment showed or not, without ever even having to go into the app. How we do this is we automate a text to go to the person who was the assigned user for that calendar. So if you had an appointment with the client, then it would text you and ask, did the client show for this appointment? And it would insert the client's name. It also inserts the calendar type name, and it has a simple link, one next to yes and one next to no. All you have to do is click the appropriate link and the follow-up sequence happens. It triggers completely different automation paths. If they showed, it sends them a review request, marks the appointment as showed, and then sends them next step offers depending on the type of appointment that they booked. If they no-showed, then it sends them the rebooking sequence, and it sends an apology style tone in most cases. Here's what most people miss. The money isn't made in the booking, it's made in the follow-up. If they show, we want to send a review request, even on those networking meetings. And we want to do so 1 to 2 hours after the call, when we are still fresh on the customer or the referral partner's brain. We also want to include simple feedback form with a Google review link. We want it to be as easy as possible for them. We don't want them to have to log into 15 million places or go look us up on Facebook. We want to send them a direct link to exactly where we want them to review us, where in one click and a few words, they can post the review. If they're not ready to buy, we also want to move them into a long-term nurture sequence so that we can continue to keep touch points on that client. If they no-show, we want to send a casual check-in message, make sure that they're okay. We want to offer a one-click rebooking link to make it super convenient for them. We want to use compassionate and understanding tones because life happens. And if they still don't book, add them to a cold list that will then continue to follow up with them, but in a different timetable and a different sequence than the customer who showed and just wasn't ready to buy. Everything should be triggered by one click or one tag. Most people think calendar automation is nice to have, but for us, it is foundational, and here's why. 1, it protects your time and your energy. 2, it creates a repeatable customer experience. 3, it gives you real data on what's working. And 4, it shows your leads you're serious about working with them. Automation isn't about being cold, it's about being consistent, and that's what builds trust, and that is what closes deals. If you're still manually emailing confirmations, chasing no-shows, or sending follow-ups by hand, this episode is your permission to stop. You don't need more calls. You need a system that turns booked calls into closed clients. If you want this whole appointment workflow done for you inside of Dallowry Flow, book a build session or learn more at dallowryflow.io. This is Stacked, where we automate, elevate, and repeat.